Hi, y'all. So, it's me. It's Mickey. So, this is our first episode of Feed Thee Boddie, where you join me on this journey of feeding myself. So, we're trying some new things. So, we are here with Papi.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
So, Papi, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, thank you. Again, I go by Papi Equis. I'm the owner, founder, and curator of Nights at the Rodeo. We're an Afro-erotic company. We do host adult entertainment events and practice the art of Shibari and bdsm and Tantra and all that kind of good stuff to get your body going and get you activated, so to speak. But, we're based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Been out here for the last, 4 or 5 years now. We're doing different showcases. We have performers from erotic poets to burlesque dancers to fire breathers to, pole artists and all different types of, just erotic arts, just all throughout the spectrum, so we want to see how we can add to us as a culture being brown people, and understanding sex from a more holistic and, I guess, patient point of view, you know what I mean? So, over at the rodeo, we here with it. We like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get the rope swing. It's a different aspect. So we do Shibari. Well, I practice Shibari. I'm the lead Shibari artist within my company. With Shibari, it is the Japanese art form of rope tying. So initially, it was a way for prisoners of war to be held captive. It eventually turned into a erotic art form in which people use it as a meditation method, as an aspect of restraint, bondage, and trust, and different things of that nature. Of course, you have levels to it, so
right.
I deal with it more on an intimate and sensual aspect. And of course, depending on the person, we can go up in levels or down in levels. But it's a fun ride. It's a magic carpet ride, as I always say.
Right. So we've done this together before.
Yeah, we have.
I do want to go ahead and take a moment to shout out Candy and Candy Shop LLC. She has some dope events coming up in Charlotte and Atlanta, and I think we're planning Texas too.
Ooh,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Dropping bombs,
right? Why not? Gotta come out the gate running, right?
Got to.
So, Candy had a ladies' night and a brunch the other weekend, and I was the rope bunny.
Yes, you was.
So, within Shibari, within the culture, there are like certain terms to refer to certain stuff.
Right,
so, let's get into that a little bit before we dive more into how you practice Shibari.
Okay, I mean that's cool. So, with the overall aspect of BDSM, you have what you call a dom or dominant, which is the person that's like in charge, the leader, the person that's running the situation. Then you have a submissive, which is the person that is on the receiving side. Granted, it is a give and receive throughout the entire process, but the submissive is more on the receiving side. When you're dealing with Shibari, the typical term is called a rope bunny. The rope bunny is the model, or what we call a muse, when it comes down to laying down the ropes and having somebody you can tie up and perform the art form with in a together moment, so to speak. Now, granted, you can put the ropes on yourself, of course.
Right.
That is self-practice. But overall, it's just an experience, like I said, just from a dom and submissive standpoint, in which dominant leads the submissive into a place of pleasure, bliss, and desire, but also, from my perspective, an aspect of sensuality, romance, and intimacy. So kind of bridge the gap between what's really being felt versus the ego that sometimes goes behind sex, you know? So.
Right. So, yeah, that's a question that I did not add on the list.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's a topic that I do think is worth more discussion.
Not for sure.
Because I think when we talk about sex within the community, we a lot of times talk about the bonds that are built, soul ties,
Right, that's true.
all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And, you know, there are people, I think, you know, on far ends of the spectrum without realizing that there really is a healthy middle ground.
It definitely is.
When you talk about sex, because there should be more trust involved.
No, definitely. I mean, you wouldn't want to share your body with somebody you don't trust in that situation, let alone, you know, if you're trying to be more open and optimistic towards how you express yourself, you don't want to do that with the wrong person. You know?
Right.
So you want to make sure that, first off, you're comfortable and proud of who you are and how you express yourself sexually. And then, you know, when you do pursue a relationship or look to expand yourself on those kind of levels, that whoever you open yourself up with on those kind of levels understands that part of you holistically, fully, and knows that, you know, this is just who she is, or that's who he is at the end of the day. And this is the person that I'm attracted to or want to be with. So if I do choose to be with them, I need to get to know this type, this part of them, you know what I mean? And that's just ultimately, you know, when it goes back down to relationship building, which goes into building trust, which goes into, you know, a bigger bond or a tighter bond, so to speak, with the person that you're in a relationship with.
So how did you figure out that this was your artistic expression, your art form?
Funny story. All right, so
I'm always here for a good story.
Yeah, so I got two sons from a poly relationship, and during the time where my youngest son, mother, we was living together and she was pregnant. I wasn't trying to like be on like typical nigga shit, like you get horny, you want to fuck, you want to do this, you want to do that. And you go out and end up doing shit at times. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guilty of doing certain shit I shouldn't have been doing at times. But also, during that time, I wanted to make sure I focused in on what was going on. You know what I mean? And I wanted to still express myself sexually, but I felt weird about having sex with my pregnant old lady. You know what I'm saying? Because this big old belly is like, and I know it's healthy, it's good for the baby, and we did what we needed to do. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say I didn't do it. So we did what we needed to do.
I was gonna say, poor girl.
No. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. She was straight. But however,
I hope so.
I'm just speaking.
Girl, I hope he's telling the truth.
I'm deaf. For those that know, for the people that know, you know what I mean. For the people that know, they know. However, during that time, I wanted to find a way where I can like express myself more, and I was body painting and doing a lot of like artwork, and I wanted to kind of transition my artwork into a more interactive type of situation. And then doing so, and then, you know, kind of exploring and reading and YouTubing and going, meeting different people because of the people I was already around. I kind of just found my niche in it, and, you know, it's a thing. And, you know, the more you study certain things, you know, the deeper it gets. I mean, even if you could glance at the bookshelf, there's a couple books over there that I think I read. It was Advanced Sex Magic and Sexual Magicless and a couple of different things that, you know, when it comes down to understanding sex outside of just simple interaction and penetration, it takes your mental and the whole aspect of how you express yourself to a different level.
So how do you think exploring this form of sensuality has helped you in other aspects of your life? Because I would imagine that focusing on something that is so built on trust and communication,
Right.
and not just verbal communication, but also context,
Right.
body clues, body language, all of that. Like,
I mean, it honestly, it just overall heightens my overall awareness with a lot of things. Like you just pointed out, body language, being able to, I mean, because I pay attention to a lot now, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then even down to, because of what I do, it puts me in a position to be more loving and be more careful with certain things, and taking my time and allowing myself to be patient with the process of what's going on, and understand that everything isn't always the same. You know, because if you know, for example, my interaction with you when it comes down to the roast may be is going to be completely different from somebody else. You know, and that's even in everyday life. You know, your interaction with somebody right here is never going to be the same like somebody over here. You know, so with that, be patient with people. Understand people are going to be just themselves. And at the end of the day, all you can do is trust people to be just that, which is themselves. So, you know, that alone kind of kills disappointments and expectations, and kind of allows things to just be naturally what they are. You know what I'm saying? And if you allow yourself to understand that totally, when you translate that to the bedroom, you naturally be yourself, and you allow your partner to naturally be themselves, and you guys do come together. Now the interaction is more spectacular in moments where y'all understand each other and can actually act on each other. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, you know, with the aspect of intimacy and romance and sensuality, it kind of bridges the gap, especially with today's society, with a lot of women being and feeling like they've been way more masculine than what they need to be. You know what I'm saying? And bringing back that aspect of like 90s R&B love track, you know, to the bedroom. Because, I mean, typically, like, we don't got that no more. You know what I'm saying? So
I miss
we got to figure that out.
Niggas in leather in random rainstorms in the desert.
You talking about some Jodeci shit.
I miss Carl Thomas in his sweaters. I miss the rain on the window.
Nah, that's real. But
there was just something different.
I agree.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't perfect.
But that you know, that was the baby making time, you know
right?
What I mean? I mean, even down if you go before that, you know, you go into like 70s music and, you know, 80s church like Sade and all that kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah, you don't really. And if that kind of music is out, you really don't hear it played publicly. Whereas we grew up hearing stuff like that on the radio. You know, so we kind of understood. Granted, we heard, like, we was having a conversation earlier, and you was talking about Cisco. You know what I'm saying? The thong song. But also,
Cisco is a national treasure.
He is.
He should be protected at all costs.
At all costs. Like I agree with that too.
Where is Cisco?
I've
been asking for months.
He's the only man that ever airwalked on women, bro.
There were rumors. He did. He did that.
Jesus walked on water.
Cisco walked on ass.
Straight up.
Like,
straight up. So,
listen.
You know what I mean? But ultimately, we know him for that. But if you go dive into Drew Hill and
like Cisco,
Cisco got
legitimately, you know, Cisco is an amazing Cisco, artist.
But all of those men that was in that group, they kind of like stamped a different level of love,
right?
Understanding towards like
it was toxic, but like it was
some of that shit was toxic, yes. But some of that shit was baby making. A lot of that shit was baby making.
I love Cisco. I just said it. I love Cisco, but what was it? It was All About Me with Maya.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know.
And she said this needed to be all about her, and he was like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. And that was unnecessary.
But it was all about her.
It was that, but that wasn't.
That wasn't.
That was not.
That was
That's
her,
not what she wanted, though.
How we know that?
Because her verse was not that. Her verse was not, hey, I want to have your baby. It was, hey, I want to get a few off.
Tomato.
No, not tomato.
You know, I understand, but I get it. I get it. You know, I get it.
You not about to bench me for 9 months, 10 months, bro. You not. You not.
I get it.
And then say it's all about me. No.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nah, I got stuff to do. But Like, that era of music was just different.
It changed the game, yeah.
I mean, you really had Thugs in Love.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you had...
And it was some real shit.
But now everybody want to kill each other. So,
yeah.
You know, that, you know...
It is real reckless.
Which is the reason why what we do is important. You know what I'm saying? And it's needed. It's needed, especially when it comes down to being in a highly heightened sexual society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like shit. I remember like growing up, I had to sneak on the computer just to go to type in a website on the dial-up just to
and there's
pull
no
up a
sneaking.
booty.
Shit
you
was
know what
loud
I'm saying?
as hell.
And yeah, it was loud. The phone got fucked up. I was getting, don't let nobody call in the line, bitch.
Yo.
It's trouble.
Internet usage was so stressful.
It was terrible. But now, like, I can pick up my cell phone and go to Instagram or go to Twitter, and it's a wrap. Like, I can just find everything I ever wanted.
Twitter will tell me why Instagram is down.
Exactly. So, I mean, just with that little bit of, not even a little bit, but just with that amount of access, you know what I'm saying, to just, straight to the point of everything, you know what I mean? When it comes down to foreplay and understanding your partner and building a relationship and being in love and, granted, like you said, some of that shit was toxic, but certain parts of relationship are toxic, you know what I'm saying? Certain parts of relationship are, low because you and that person have to get to know each other on all aspects.
But part of being in a relationship, if we're going to be very honest about it, part of being in a relationship is being with somebody even when they're not at their best.
Exactly.
Because if it's going to be me and you for the rest of our lives,
it's going to be me and you.
But at the same time, you got to give me some grace.
Exactly. But with that grace, this is how I feel about that. With that grace comes the ability to understand and learn. You feel me? Because and I'm going to use us for example. If me and you were in a relationship, hypothetically, and we were partners and I saw certain parts of you that I'm like, all right, look, hey, I feel like if you tweak this a little bit and did this, right. The same way, vice versa.
Giving each other that grace allows for that communication.
Exactly.
Because if I can give you grace,
right,
and you're giving me grace, then I don't feel like I'm under so much pressure to perform. And so then in those moments, I also don't feel like you're attacking me. Because I have no reason to have my guard up.
Exactly. And that's the point.
And so breaking down those walls of communication is really important. And I think when we start practicing it in our romantic relationships, we end up practicing it in other places.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that you have to have romantic relationships in order to build healthier forms of communication or anything else.
Other things, you know what I mean? And one like that goes into what we was just talking about how, when you ask me how does doing what I do affect me in other aspects of my life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you allow yourself to start simple, and start inside the house with, if you do have a partner and you have that simple communication, now some of those hard conversations you may have had with other people around you or in your life, it may be a little bit easier for you to have those conversations because with the person that you're with the most or that you have these most intimate
it's every day practicing those things. Exactly. So you take it out with you.
Exactly.
And so you're at work, you're like, you know what? I just got into it with him, them, whoever. And you know what I realized? I don't have to approach things this way.
Right. That is very true.
Like, let me chill out a little bit.
Right.
And see what happens to everybody else around me.
Right.
But part of being able to communicate in a healthy way is being able to be accountable. And I think practices like this are really, and I think that's why I'm glad we did it the first time, was because practices like this allow you to surrender control.
That's very true.
But also, if you're on the opposite end as the rigger, it forces you to practice healthy control because you literally could have your partner's life in your hands during doing certain.
And that's what I tell a lot of people. Like, again, it's very pleasurable and it's entertaining. When we do it in a show format, and when you get into like a very intense and personal situation, you really have to, especially from my stance, not only allow yourself to explore your options and go there, but you have to know how to reel yourself in really quickly, because again, you're dealing with pressure points, you're dealing with certain sensitive body areas, you're dealing with certain areas on the body where if the body goes numb, this can really affect somebody in the long term, and things of that nature, like on a real medical level. So you really got to be conscious of, okay, yeah, I'm aroused and I'm sexually turned on, but I also have to allow myself to be disciplined in what I do to make sure that I'm communicating and I'm allowing my partner to help me understand that this is what's going on, so nothing bad does happen. And if this is something that is continuous and we can make it a thing that is habitual, let's have it. You know what I mean? So it just, like I said, it's just character building all around on levels that, you know, our parents sometimes try to teach us and we just didn't never pick it up because of the method that they try to teach us.
Right.
But, you know, when it comes down to sex, like I say, sex is the essence of art, ultimately, because it's a creative art form. You feel what I'm saying? And ultimately, it's the only art form that you can use to create another life. You know, literally another living, breathing person or animal or insect or multiple, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Right. This art form is a multi-spreaded across everything that's created. You know what I'm saying? So in harnessing that and understanding it for what it truly is, you understanding yourself for what you really are supposed to be doing. You know, regardless of your sexual aspect, because sexuality is a spectrum in the first place. So it's based off of what you went to. You feel what I mean? This is my personal.
I am so live and let live.
I want to say, like, sexuality is a spectrum. You feel what I'm saying?
If you aren't hurting anyone,
I mean, do your
or
thing.
Doing real damage to yourself,
do whatever you into. You know
do you like shit?
Who am I to judge? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's this is what I tell. Be happy. Don't hurt people. That's what I tell people. Like,
it can be that easy.
Sexuality is a spectrum, but also, like I said, if we look at it from an art form or a scientific form or however you want to look at it, it is still yet the only art form where if me and you, because of our genetics, get together, we can create a baby.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Even if it wasn't me and you, if it was you and a woman, depending on how you harness that sexual energy, y'all can manifest a real magical spell on some shit if you was into that. You know what I'm saying? But
sex magic is a thing.
That's a thing. Like I said, if you're into that. You know what I'm saying?
But also, that's a different topic for a different day, because that's
different. But
that's a deep one.
You know, but even still, just keeping it simple on just the aspect of allowing yourself to be comfortable and releasing, and to be in the presence of somebody that you can share that type of interaction with. Sometimes it's very rare, but like for some people that's common. For other people, like, that's a dime a dozen. Like, it rarely happens. So it's very sacred. It's very special. It's something that is very cherished. You know what I mean? So when understanding that, you have to really look at it from both sides. You know, because very attractive people may have sex very often, so they don't have that aspect. So when they do get that aspect, it's really a thing. You know, then you got those people that don't have any interactions with people at all. You know, and then that's that one person that comes by and they decide they end up vibing, and it's like magic. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about how life just allows you to understand and still get to that same perspective, because we all get to it. We just get to it in different methods. You know what I'm saying? So that's really it, though.
Okay, so since you are actually going to, what's the proper term for what we're about to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna
back to the terminology.
Yeah, terminology. I'm gonna ask. We're gonna have a Shibari session. Excuse me.
Right, it's the
S.
S's.
All the S's. It's a lot of S's.
And that SH. It's hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Shibari session.
A lot of slithering going on up in
there. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of slithering going on up in there. But it was a Hogwarts joke for those people that don't know. I want to say, if y'all can't see, I got Naruto on my shirt. I'm a blurred.
I have my Harry Potter tattoo.
So it's
my Squirtle tattoo.
That's cool.
I'm about to get an Eevee because my little princess is a Pokemon nerd too.
I'm about to get a Broly tag. So
right.
I got a tuxedo mask tag.
But yeah, Hogwarts A&M because
Slytherin
theater department. No, no, I'm a Badger.
No,
I'm a Badger.
Yeah, Badger and Snake. Look at that.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all good.
But hand you, because that theater department it's hidden. It's hidden.
Well, now we're gonna have a Shibari session. There's some slight, I'm gonna actually do like a rope tie on you real quick. I know when we did the last session, I did like a simple wrist to chair tie.
Yeah.
Something simple. So, I do like a body tie today. Show the people, excuse me. Yeah, that's what a hardworking man do. That's a little bit. I'm sorry. But nah, show the people exactly.
He has been going really
hard
lately.
I'm about to say, y'all really excuse me.
We're gonna get into. We're gonna get into this man's schedule in a second. Let's finish talking about what we're about to do, and then we're gonna talk about all you've been doing and all you're about to do.
Nah, for sure. But,
yes.
But now we're about to have a session real quick. I'm gonna do a basic, not necessarily a basic technique, but I'm gonna do a chest harness for you real quick. And throughout it, I kind of give like a little, I wouldn't say an instruction, but I just let people know what I'm doing,
right,
and why the ropes are where they are. My lovely guest, or
you're my guest.
Well, at this point, the roses, but see the Dom sub thing. You see how that just switched? I'm sorry, it's like a light switch.
It's okay.
I'm sorry,
it's
my bad. My lovely host is letting you, be the host at this
for a
point.
second.
For a second, you know what I'm saying? Split second, not too much. But nah, we're gonna do that real quick and present something different for the people.
Okay, so you have an event this weekend. Well, you have an event. I won't say this weekend because this isn't coming out tomorrow.
Well, so for sure.
You have March 11th coming up.
Yeah.
You have
the 24th. So we have March 11th, which whether this is presented before or after the Pajama Jammy Jam. That's coming up Saturday. We have the 24th. We have the erotic drip party, so the body art party.
Ooh.
Neon glow in the dark paint.
I saw the stuff on your Instagram for that.
That's probably we having that on the 24th at the Canvas House.
Who's that with?
The LVC Drip Guys. So me and my partners, the LVC Drip Guys. Shout out to them. Rough Ross and Artists As Is. They run that brand out here. They're really dope. Really dope artists. They got a retail brand with dope duffel. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with them, but
I love dope duffel.
Yeah, so they run.
I have to go get a new bag, but I love dope duffel. And the guys over there are so sweet. They never have my size in the windbreaker sweatsuit. Yeah. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. I need I mean, if I need to get in there and get measured. So that we can get better sizes. I'm here for it.
She got thick cheeks.
Listen.
Get the sizes together, man.
Listen. Because it's what it is, it's the lining inside it.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Because it's windbreaker material, so it has that mesh netting inside it. Yeah. So that's what doesn't fit. Like, if that had some stretch to it,
you'll be good.
I would be great.
You'll be straight.
I would have been, there's a pink one, and there's a blue one. And I was
get her these clothes
with some Crocs.
Stop playing.
And then they have the cutest fanny packs.
Stop playing.
There's a hot pink fanny pack and a yellow
on Instagram and everything.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
All right, say shout out those duffel.
Right.
Quick plug on them.
I love their shit.
So they're gonna actually we're gonna be partnering and collabing with them on that show. So that's gonna be dope. I'm gonna do a demo. We got excuse me again.
I know.
I'm sorry again, bro. Swimming lessons with my son and running around. I'm a teacher and all this other stuff. I do a lot of things. So, again, we got that on the 24th. The 26th, we got Temptation Sundays at Tax and Tea Lounge out here in University area, 9620 University Boulevard, Suite A. We will be up in there. Doors open at 8. Show starts at 9. dope show we got coming up. Erotic poetry. We got some guitars. We got the DJ. We got the bars, hookah. We got myself. I'm gonna have a couple dancers or two. I'm gonna see who we're gonna see who I can pull in right now. I got a couple of people that's been asking me, so we're gonna see what we can do. But yeah, that on the 26th, and then to end off the month on the 31st of March, we got the Shibari 101. So I'm gonna be hosting my first Shibari class for the people that want to come out and learn something about the ropes. I've been getting a lot of people asking, so that's gonna be a big thing. That's gonna be pretty cool. For the people that's like, all right, what's after that? I may not be able to come in March. I'm going to be traveling soon, so I will be in Houston between April 7th through the 11th.
So you're not going to be here for Artgasm?
I'm not, actually.
I'm so disappointed.
I got some play. Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. I got some plays out of Houston. I'm trying to set up real quick.
I feel you.
And it's gonna be a major market for some things. And
because Houston has the Black Rodeo.
Exactly. And I actually did a show out of Houston 2 years ago, and it was dope as fuck. So
Houston.
Yeah, nice.
Listen,
it was dope
I've heard some things about Houston. I haven't had a chance to get out there.
I went out there and I fell in love with the city. So like I'm gonna go back out there and see what kind of things.
I feel like I'd go to Texas and never leave.
That'll happen. We're actually gonna be in DC April 28th for the body party. We're throwing a body party, collabing with some really, really dope pole instructors. Shout out Miss Kitty and Shay out there. We're gonna get with them and a couple of their girls from their troops, and we're gonna put together a pole party. So that's gonna be pretty dope. And May we're gonna take off because coming up in June, I've been plotting and planning something very special for the last year. Yeah, so
okay.
I'm gonna say this on here. This will be the first time I announce it, but we're gonna have the first annual Nights at the Rodeo Masquerade Ball Gala. We have a massive ballroom style space that we're gonna have VIP areas.
Oh, this is gonna be so sexy.
Live band, it's catered. You know, we're gonna have some package deals. Vendors will be there.
This is gonna be so sexy.
We got pole artists gonna be there. I know I got aerial artists, fire breathers. It's suit and tie, and it's suit and tie. You can't. You gotta have a gown. But ladies, you gotta get your best gowns. Fellas, suit and tie. You cannot get in without having on your best dress. After party is for those that are interested in exploring their curiosity.
I know who I want to talk to about
a night. It's gonna be a really nice night. It's gonna, summertime. The area that I got is actually a nice. It's an indoor-outdoor area. We got garage doors where we can kind of interact with both aspects. It's gonna be a real good night. We're plotting and planning it now. Like I said, this is something that.
This is exciting.
Yeah. So I finally got things locked in, and we're excited about that. You know what I'm saying? So event-wise, we got that going on. Check us out, NXTR Rodeo. NXTRODEO.com. So that's nightsattherodeo.com. We got the lingerie line coming out. We got the retail brand coming out with some merchandise. We have OnlyFans for the people that want to see the nasty stuff with the mommies. We got a few things we cooking up, man. We taking off real quick, and we got a lot of cool things coming up. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited, and I can't wait to have you come in.
Listen.
Play with me.
Lord, we will see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Let me give a brief breakdown of the first time I ever experienced Shibari ropes, right? So it was the most relaxing experience in the entire world. Like, when you see it done, it looks so sexual,
right? But
actually experiencing it, it's extremely sensual. It's very, And I'm super duper in my head all the time.
I'm sure.
And to have an experience where I literally had no thought on my mind whatsoever.
Right. That's
like absolutely nothing. It was intense. Like when, because you had my arms above my head.
And I did it on purpose.
Right. And so when you finally like untied me and I had my arms down by my side, I was like, I remember telling you, I was like, my arms are stupid. Yeah, my arms feel stupid.
I felt you. I felt you. Yeah, I felt you was just relaxed.
Like, what are these?
Yeah, you was relaxed.
But yeah, so it was a very intense, awesome experience, and I do highly recommend, even if it's not in a sexual capacity, I do think it has a very good place in like self-care routines. Like if you're going to be getting massages and, you know, facials, and you're going to get your nails done, you're going to get your toes done, blah, 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 all of this stuff, all of the other things that we promote as self-care, I do think that this could have a place in it, simply for the fact that, like, I don't even know how long it was. It could have been 2 minutes. It could have been 2 hours. But my head was just clear.
In a different place. Yeah, I felt that.
I was like, okay, cool. All right, cool. But yeah, so.
But that's the end game, ultimately. You know what I mean? Is to not only, you know, provide a different aspect of expression, but for you to experience that meditative aspect of relaxation and release, and the ability to be like, okay, life ain't what I thought it was.
Right, because it put me in a place of it is what it is.
It is, exactly.
So it's like, okay,
I
have released control.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I have to trust.
Exactly.
And it's forced, but it's not shoved. It's just like, well, it is what it is.
Exactly.
So, yeah. It's a very interesting experience, but I was telling someone about it, and I was like, if it had been that and probably just a basic Swedish massage at the Valentine, listen, I probably would have been asleep for a week.
You would have been asleep.
Like, I was like,
So I want to say, that was a thing.
Like a combo of those two, like once a month, bruh. Like, I'm good.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. It's definitely levels to it. So I mean, and just coming from a base level of what you explain it, you know, what you experience. That's just again the end game to overall, you know, why I started the rodeo and why we doing what we're doing. Just overall as a brand. And why I do what I do as an artist, you know, because like I said, when we was talking earlier, a lot of women experience that aspect of feeling masculine so often, especially in these days and times, because y'all put that pressure on yourself to be who y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not pressuring you to go through all of that. So.
I think when it comes to that, we also do have to recognize that socially within our communities, a lot of things were shifting. And a lot of women were put into positions where they had no choice. And so while I do think that people make choices, I think we have to realize everybody makes choices and that those choices do affect other people. So I think we have a lot of folks who were raised in homes where it's not that they didn't want to, it's that they didn't want to have to do as much as they have to do.
No, I understood.
And so, however we talk about those situations, I think it's just fair to acknowledge the full spectrum of it, because the ability to trust, I think, for me as a Black woman, is a huge thing.
Right.
Because there is so much that we worry about on a daily basis. And to have to carry that and carry this and carry this and carry this and not be able to trust the people around us, to truly be able to help us. I think having instances like this where I have moments where I don't have to rely on me are wonderful. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's a self-care exercise, because it is definitely the ability to, even for however long it was, not be the one carrying the weight.
Right.
And to say, like, okay, here.
Right.
And so I think for me, it kind of, and this is again why I say it taps into that self-care. It's like once a month, just get that reset where it's like, it's okay to hand things off.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to say, here. Exactly. I don't feel like carrying this anymore. No, but I think it also relies upon finding partners on both, for everybody. Finding partners where we can have that trust. True.
I mean, but ultimately that's where it started. You know, where you gotta trust yourself first to choose the right partner. You know what I'm saying? So when you trust yourself in what you're doing, and then you allow yourself to be so sure about what you do, because you know you meet somebody and you want to get to know them, and it's like you want to get to know them. You know, you want you want them to know, hey, this is what I like. This is what I'm into. This is what gets me going. This is what I really don't care for. This is what, you know what I mean? What are you into? How can I be of service to you, or whatever the case may be? You know, and like I said, this is building healthy communication. Ultimately, at the end of the day, and healthy communication leads to more prosperous situations and more, you know, positive moments at the end of the day. So, I mean, I agree with everything you just said. Like, it's just ultimately an experience that needs to be had for the greater good of everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I really do. I highly encourage everyone to, even if it's not him, contact him. No, I mean, he knows all the people.
I'm about to say, I know quite a few people. I know, like I said, it's levels to it. What I do is from a different aspect because of how I position myself. Like I said, I deal with more of the sensual, intimate, romantic aspect. But of course, you have people that it's like, all right, man, fuck all that soft shit, man. Give me some pain. Or,
right.
Know, sometimes pain is pleasure. Some people like that, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, like the guy was saying, it's levels to it. If you are into, you know, something of that nature, you can always reach out to me. Hey. And I'm pretty sure she'll have my information.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere.
Everything is gonna be all tagged in the. Is it the cap? Is it the caption?
Somewhere.
It'll be the caption. It'll probably be a caption.
Nah, it's gonna be right here.
But like on the IG story, it'll be
over there
somewhere.
All right,
I don't know yet.
We'll find it.
I don't know yet.
We'll figure it out.
One of those finger pointings is gonna work.
It's gonna.
One of them.
Something's gonna happen. But yeah, follow me on IG, man. Thank God with that. I appreciate it.
Okay, so you got to tell him the IG.
Okay, so the IG is, I forgot the IG that quick. No, I'm playing. It's the rodeo, the THE.RodeoX. So the.RodeoX, the period rodeo X. So THE.RodeoX. I said it one more time. THE for your grandmama .rodeo X for your auntie. Alright, so that's it. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all follow us. You know, you can go to the Instagram if you got Instagram. Website link is up there. The website link is going to take you to the events. It's going to take you to the retail. If you have been to one of my shows or have had a personal experience in regards to the rodeo with the one-on-one sessions, we have a feedback portal on there, so you guys can leave a survey. Let me know what you think. We are looking to improve. Any feedback is good feedback. It's nothing personal, trust me. I want to make sure I'm serving you in the best way I can. But yeah, all the updates is up there, man. I'm excited about what's happening in the future. So, you know, I'm so happy you had me on here.
I'm so happy to have you.
I feel like this was such a free-flowing experience right here.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
It was a nice little conversation.
Yeah, I like it. It was enjoyable.
I'm kind of interested to see how people are going to feel about it. Now I really want to release it. Now I'm like, ooh.
I don't think, hey, man, it's about to be different. Yeah, it's about to be different, man. I enjoyed this, and I enjoyed you. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'm excited to get to the next part of this. So we are going to break for a second, and then we will be coming back with the actual tying of the ropes.
No.
Right? I know.
I'm going to keep it cute.
Make it seem super intense.
I'm going to keep it cute. I ain't going to do too much.
All the suspense.
Maybe.
All the suspense.
We'll see what happens.
All these questions and more will be answered on the next episode.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you. Stuck on your phone, you're stuck in your zone. You don't ever, but I don't wanna give up. Baby, I just want you to get up. Lately, I've been a little better. Wish you would just focus on me. Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Lazy and broke. Know we get this money, so I guess I can't complain.